Hey there, yogis and yoginis. Welcome to your Summer Solstice Karmic Warrior Oracle reading. This is a very significant time of the year with the day outlasting the night. And the Summer Solstice is more than just an astrological event, as you already know. It's really this spiritual gateway. It's a time of heightened energy and awakening. It's the longest day of the year where we've come into the full embrace of light. And now, as the wheel of the year is turning, we're preparing for this journey inward. So in the spirit of this really powerful time, this oracle reading is going to delve into our unseen depths of karma. And the intention of this reading is really to illuminate our karmic challenges, to recognize our karmic opportunities, and to discern the lessons that are ripe for our learning right now. So this is an opportunity for us to harness the solstice's vibrant energy, not just to illuminate what's happening out there in our lives, but also to spark this inner light of awareness that guides us on our path of spiritual growth and self-realization. So the question that I'm going to be asking the oracle is, as we enter into a period of heightened spiritual energy with the summer solstice, what karmic challenges and karmic opportunities are being illuminated for our spiritual growth and our self-realization? Now, before we dive in and see what guidance that the Oracle has for us, I just want to say a couple words about the Karmic Warrior Oracle if you're not familiar with it. The Karmic Warrior Oracle is designed to guide you towards a freer, more fulfilling life by harnessing the ancient law of karma. And there's 64 cards in the Oracle, and each one of these cards represents one of 6 key principles or practices in clearing karmic patterns that keep you stuck and repeating the same lessons in life. So it really serves as this powerful tool to navigate and break free from karmic patterns and guide us towards a life of freedom and fulfillment. Okay, so let's go ahead and dive into our special summer solstice Karmic Warrior Oracle reading. Now, this is a very, very interesting spread that we got here, because the first thing that I always look at when I am doing one of these readings is what are the suits that come up for the picks. And we got all aligned suits. I've never had that happen before, so this is quite significant. What this is telling me is that our primary theme is about alignment, especially over the next 6 months, so we can harness the energy of the solstice towards our alignment. So alignment of what? So with this oracle, alignment specifically is referring to aligning, well, there's 2 different things, and we'll see what the cards say, but it's either that we need to align our will with divine will, that maybe we're too much in the ego, so that could be one possibility, or it could be alignment of our practice and our view. So a lot of times, if we are unclear about what is the path that we're following and the view that we're following, if our practice isn't aligned with the view, then that can throw us off course. So it's going to be one of those 2 things. We don't know yet. We need to turn the cards over to see what the oracle tells us that it's talking about and that it's suggesting that we align to. So let's go ahead and take a look at our first pick. What is the card that we got here? The first card of the spread always represents our karmic theme. So this is the main theme or issue that is presenting itself for us during this period of the solstice. So the card we got is the freedom and fulfillment card. So I'm getting a sense that this is going to be something about aligning with divine will, but let's go ahead. We haven't looked at those other cards yet, but let's go ahead and let me unpack what freedom and fulfillment is. So I'm going to read on the card. There's actually two interpretations. The first interpretation of this message of freedom and fulfillment is when you are fully abiding in your true nature, it's how you're going to experience freedom and fulfillment. And then the bottom interpretation is when you are not abiding in your true nature, how you will experience freedom and fulfillment. So what I like to do is read both of those interpretations, and then for yourself, go ahead and think about where do you stand right now in your life when it comes to your freedom and fulfillment. So I'm going to read the bottom interpretation first. So you feel a nagging sense that something is missing. So you look for things outside of yourself to fill what feels like an inescapable void. So when you're not abiding in your true nature, freedom and fulfillment is elusive. It's hard to catch, and it feels like there's something missing. There's this nagging sense that no matter what you do, something is missing. So if you think about maybe there's a big thing in your life that you've been trying for a long time to get or to have, right, in order to feel fulfilled, and yet no matter how much you try or no matter what you do, it seems like nothing is working. So that freedom and fulfillment eludes you, right? It seems like I can't get it no matter what I do, no matter how much I try to change, no matter what I do outside of myself, it just isn't happening for me. Now let me read the top interpretation of it. So the top interpretation, when you are abiding in your true nature, this is how you'll experience freedom and fulfillment. You perceive your true nature as inherently whole and complete. You are free from the burden of relying on outer circumstances for happiness. So this is really big. The key to, or the main theme that we're getting here, that the Oracle is telling us, is your freedom and fulfillment has nothing to do with your outer circumstances looking a certain way. When you let go of the belief or any thoughts that in order to be fulfilled, your outer circumstances have to look a certain way. People have to do certain things, or you have to get this certain thing or get rid of this other thing in order to be fulfilled. Once you let go of all that, freedom and fulfillment is not going to elude you anymore. So this is, we can harness the energy of the solstice right now for our own freedom and fulfillment. And we begin to do that by letting go of any ideas, any stories that we had, any beliefs that we had, that our happiness, that our fulfillment comes from things looking a certain way in our life. Freedom does not come from our outer circumstances looking a certain way. Okay, so that is our theme for this solstice. So let's go ahead and look at now what is our primary karmic challenge that we're up against. All right, so it's clear that the oracle is leading us in the direction of aligning with divine desire because we picked the ego card. The ego card is also closely related to egoic desire card, so I'm going to be interested to see what we get for our third card. But for this card, let me just go ahead and read you the interpretation. So your identity is wrapped up in the roles you play in life and the beliefs and stories you have about who you think you are. This results in an inner struggle to avoid pain and seek pleasure. So just tap in right now for yourself and see where that might be true. Maybe that's like, big red lights for you, like, yes, oh my gosh, I'm you caught me. Yes, this is true for me. Or it might be more subtle. Here's the thing. Ego is, we can have very, very smart egos, especially those of us who've been on the personal growth path and spiritual growth path for a really long time. Our egos can get very sophisticated and very smart, and we can start to think that our egos are our true self. Like, our egos can actually get so smart and sophisticated that we can begin to believe that we actually are in touch with our true self and divine desire, but it's really just a very, very nuanced and sophisticated version of our ego. And how do we know? How do we know that this is true? Because we're still not experiencing freedom and fulfillment. We still, our first card, we go back to the theme. We know that our ego is running the show when we still have this either strong or subtle nagging sense that something is missing. I can't put my finger on it, but it feels like I'm doing everything and I'm still not getting that sense of whatever it is that I want in my life, freedom, fulfillment, whatever. So this is how ego works. So now the oracle is telling us this is a very good time over these next, we can use this energy of the solstice as we move forward into the next 6 months, sort of to kickstart ourselves, to begin to dissolve our ego, to begin to let go of our stories of who we think we are and what we think fulfillment looks like, so that we can get in touch with, or so that our true nature can be revealed to us, and so that we can move towards a life of freedom and fulfillment regardless of our external circumstances. All right, so now we're going to look at our final card. All right, so this is very interesting. Our third card is egoic action. So we got, so far our spread looks like we have, our theme is freedom and fulfillment. That's what we can work with over the next 6 months. And then we have ego as our karmic challenge. So it's all about looking where our identity is wrapped up in our stories about who we think we are versus who we really are. And now our third card is egoic action. Now this is something that I'm talking about all the time with my clients and my students. Is your action inspired by divine will or egoic will? If our action is inspired by egoic desire, then it's egoic action. That means that our actions are motivated in order to get something or get rid of something in order to find freedom and fulfillment, in order to be happy. So what is the antidote to that? The antidote, what the oracle is telling us, the antidote to that is the ability to discern when your actions are based on stories, ideas, and beliefs that your ego is telling you. Now, I have a really cool little exercise that I give my students that you can do to tell, is what I want egoic desire or divine desire. And this is really, really important, because if it is egoic desire, then of course it's going to be egoic action. So we want to first be able to discern, is my action coming from an ego desire or from divine desire? How do you know the difference? So I'm going to give you a little shortened version of this particular practice. So what you can do is actually bring to mind, sort of go into, however you do it, go into your meditative state. And then you're going to bring to mind a particular desire that you have. And the next thing that you're going to do, once you bring this desire into your awareness, you're going to notice, or you're going to ask yourself, does this desire come from a place of feeling incomplete, not enough, or from a belief that something is needed in order for you to be happy in your life? And really sit with that. And again, remember that ego is very smart and sophisticated, so you might need to sit with this a while and really feel into it. Is this desire coming from a feeling or a place of feeling incomplete or not enough, or from the belief that something is needed in order for me to be happy? If so, then it is an egoic desire, and it's going to bring egoic action with it. So in order to antidote that, we want to just be aware and discerning that, oh, this is an egoic desire, and it's going to bring forth egoic actions. And egoic actions always put us back into the cycle of samsara, the wheel of life, which is this diagram right behind me. It's the 6 karmic realms, essentially. When you can begin to discern that your actions are coming from a place of egoic desire, that becomes your entry point for your personal growth, for your spiritual growth, and for your self-realization. So you can begin this process right there, and there's much more, it can be much more involved in it, but even just this first piece of recognizing, oh my gosh, this is an egoic action, and I'm doing it because I think that I need something outside of myself to be fulfilled. That's the perfect starting place. And so that is what the Oracle is telling us. All right, my friends. So that is a wrap for our summer solstice Karmic Warrior Oracle reading. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you found something useful in it for yourself, some guidance, some insight maybe to move you forward over the coming 6 months. This is really such a great time to harness the energies of the solstice. So take care, be well, until I see you next time. Namaste.